Then you grew up in a literary household. Your father, Dr. Harivansh Rai Bachchan, was a legendary poet. What was it to grow up in a household of books?
You kept away from his room. And there was an unwritten code of conduct in the family that when my father is writing in his study, he is not to be disturbed. Many a times we found that to be a little odd, but then Mother would explain to us that it's important for creative people, and particularly the writers, to have their moment of solitude and to be able to express themselves. They needed the peace and harmony of a home to be able to do that. That was some of the early impressions that we had. But as we grew up, there were many occasions when, if he was doing an important piece of work, I remember that he was asked by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to translate a biography on him, written by Michael Risher, into Hindi, and there was a deadline that he had to finish before his birthday. And he was working day and night, and he put out a little placard, almost like a painting outside the door of his study, and that meant that nobody was allowed to go in and disturb him. And this used to happen for days and days and days. We never really knew how he was or what he was doing. That's the kind of temperament that we grew up in. But yes, every time my father would write a piece of poem, we were the first people that he would introduce the poem. And in particular, he would ask us to read it in almost the same graph and the tone that he had written it. And I felt that that was an extremely important exercise, because later on in my work as a professional actor, I found that the respect that we need to give writers is the most important aspect in filmmaking. I feel that writers are the most important ingredient in filmmaking. They, design the character, they design the story, they design the dress, the location, everything. And once they write, it's written with a lot of conviction and strength. And it's important to be able to gauge their mind and the graph of their language before you actually say your lines. So some of the things that we learned, what I learned from my father, was to be able to recite some of his works in the same graph and language. That I found very valuable. Other than that, of course, the numerous people of letters that used to visit him, and to be just sitting quietly and listening to them converse and discuss various aspects of life, poetry, and literature, was indeed a very revealing aspect.